everyone, and welcome to Checkpoint. It's your host again, Dr. Ifama Eze, and I'm here again with a very wonderful topic here on Checkpoint. Now, I always start by saying thank you, and thank you again for all that you do for us here at Checkpoint. Thank you for liking our videos. Thank you for commenting on our videos. Thank you for sharing these videos so that your friends, your relations, your associates, and your neighbors can be a part of it. And thank you most especially for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Now, because of all this that you do, our message is reaching a wider audience, and for this I am indeed very grateful. So thank you, and thank you again. Now you know how we roll here at Checkpoint. I want to encourage every one of you, go ahead, invite your friends, share this link everywhere, share it to your friends, your relations, your associates, your neighbors. Let them know it is time for Checkpoint, and I can't wait to share what I have with you today. I believe it is a topic that will affect every area of your life, and it will be a huge source of encouragement to you. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back after the break. Alright, welcome back. And today on Checkpoint, our topic for today is the 4 seasons of life. The 4 seasons of life. I'll be sharing with you about the 4 seasons of life. But before that, I'd like to tell you a very short story. So there was this king in the kingdom. He had 4 sons. So he wanted to teach the sons a lesson. So he told each of these 4 sons to go and look and observe a particular cherry tree in their kingdom, but this cherry tree was in a deep forest. So he would send them in at different times. So he told his first son, the eldest of his sons, I told him, please, I'd like you to go and check out this cherry tree. When you get there, give me a very vivid description of this cherry tree. Now he sent this particular son in winter, and when he went there, he saw the tree, and he came back. He was a bit furious. He was tired. He was like, Father, why would you send me out on this kind of fruitless journey? I went there, and when I saw the cherry tree, it was so dried up. There was nothing left in it. You know, the tree was so barren. There was no fruit, no flowers, no leaves on it. In fact, animals could not even come close to the tree because the tree could not give them any form of shade, and there were no birds on the tree. There was no source of attraction. The tree was so dry. And the father told him, well done, my son, you have observed well. And he was like, I don't understand the meaning of this assignment, but I've done what you asked me to do. So he now said, no problem. So the father waited for a while, and by the time the next season came, he sent his other son during the spring. And the son went during the spring to observe the same cherry tree. He had given him the same description so that he could find that particular tree. And when he went there, he saw a tree that was in its bloom, right? New leaves were coming out. You know, the tree was blossoming. It looked very young. It looked promising. It looked like it was about to produce fruits, and it was alive. And he came back and he told his father that this tree was blooming, it was blossoming, that butterflies and birds were all around the tree. You know, they were enjoying the scent of the leaves and the scent of the flowers, and that it was a sight, a beautiful sight to behold. Not just was it a beautiful sight, it was a promising sight to behold. And he said, my son, you have done well, welcome back. And that was the observation of the second prince. So the father waited a while, and later in another season, this was a season called summer, and he now sent the third prince to go and observe the same tree. And the son now went out there. When he saw the tree, he was so delighted. You know, the leaves were intact. It was a beautiful picture. The trees had budded. There were so many flowers on it, and most importantly, ripe fruits were on the cherry tree. He plucked a few, he tasted it, he said these were so sweet. He was so excited. He noticed that so many birds were on the tree because they also came to have a taste of that same tree, of the fruits of the tree. You know, the tree looked so matured, it looked so valuable. There were delicious cherries on it, and he was so excited. He came back with a basket full of cherries, and he told his dad, I came back and I'm so excited to inform you that this tree is in this best season. You know, there's so much fruit, there's so much flowers, so much leaves on it. You know, I when I went there, I saw different kinds of birds. They came to eat from the same tree. You know, this tree was in its best season. And the father said, Prince, you have done well, welcome back. And you'll be able to observe that the tree was beneficial for everybody, every living thing, both the birds and human beings. Everybody loved to be around that particular tree at that time. He said, you have done well with your observation, welcome back. And then during the last season, called the season of the autumn season, he sent his fourth son, and that was the youngest son. You know, he sent the fourth prince to go and observe the same tree. And when the prince came to the tree, he discovered that the fruits were gone, the flowers were gone, but the leaves were still there. It was a beautiful sight to behold, because some parts of the leaves were already turning golden. You know, some parts of the leaves look like that kind of still picture you want to draw. And the son was a bit artistic, so he came back to this father. I said, Dad, I saw this cherry tree, but the cherry tree looked like a beautiful piece of artwork. You know, it was something like I would want to draw, something that I would want to create into an image, because I saw some leaves, some were red, some were orange, and some were turning golden, some were already falling off, you know. But it was a beautiful sight to behold. It was an ideal sight for a painting. And the father said, you have done well. And then he called his four sons and said, you all had your observation of each other, but then do you know that the same, I sent all of you to the same tree, but you guys met that same tree at different seasons of that tree's life. And when you were describing, it didn't look like it was the same tree, but then it happened that you all observe this same tree at different seasons of its life. So in life we have I know it's not obtainable in Africa or West Africa, but generally in UK, Europe, US and other places, we have basically 4 seasons. So we have the winter season, we have the spring season, we have the summer season, and we have the autumn season. And these are the 4 seasons even in life. And I want to apply these 4 seasons into our own lives as individuals, as human beings. We find ourselves at different seasons of our lives, and I want to be sharing with you how do these seasons manifest even in our own lives, and how best do we adapt to it, how do we manage these seasons, because some of us will be like, oh no, I don't want this season, you know, I'm okay with this particular season, or I prefer this other season. One thing we have to know is that seasons come and seasons go, and it doesn't matter which one is your preferred season. So you just have to accept the seasons as they come, because it is not in your hand to determine which season you will be in. It is not also in your hand to determine how long you stay in a particular season. But what is most important is that when any of these seasons come your way, you know exactly what to do and how to handle it. I'll be sharing with you 4 basic seasons of life and the likely ages where you find yourself in these seasons and what you should do about it. Is that okay? All right, so I'm sure that some of you will agree with me and some of you may not agree with me, so please do leave your comments in the comment section and I'll come back right at it. Remember, this is the learning opportunity, and I always tell you here at Checkpoint that we always give you information and content that equips you, empowers you, and edifies you to become the very best version of yourself. So please invite your friends, your relations, your associates, and your neighbors. Let them know that Checkpoint is going on right now, and we are talking about the 4 seasons of life. All right, so let's talk about them one after the other. So first of all, I like to talk about the spring season. Now, when you hear the spring, what comes to mind? The first season I'd like to share with you is the spring season. In the spring season, a tree is usually in full bloom. So it shows potential. It shows possibilities of producing fruit. In fact, you begin to see some tiny fruits begin to bud. You see flowers begin to bud. You see that this fruit is coming alive. If you look closely at it, you will even see some fruits even in their earlier stage. That is how you know that it is spring season. And also in this spring season, you will notice that it is a season of new beginnings. It is a season of youthfulness. It is a season where potentials are very high. It is a season of opportunities. And most times, we as human beings, we do not know how to maximize most of these seasons. Let me share with you and tell you that between the ages of 0 and 25, you are likely in your spring season, which means that is the season where you're trying to bud, the season where you're trying to figure out what your potentials are, what the possibilities that exist within you and for you are, what the opportunities that will present themselves in your life are. You are trying to figure out a lot of things about life. Most people in their spring season assume that they have all the time, but one thing that everybody in their spring season should know is that no matter what happens in your spring season, summer is coming. So it doesn't matter how much time you have in your spring season, maximize it. So how then do we maximize it? You need to learn. A lot of learning will help to give you direction in your spring season. Remember that I said that in your spring season, it is a time for new beginnings, it's a time for new opportunities, it's a time for discovery of potentials. But if you do not sharpen your talent, if you do not sharpen your skills, if you do not sharpen your development, engage in personal development, you may not be able to maximize this season. So between the ages of 0 and 25 years, there are a lot of new beginnings from being a toddler to an adolescent to expressing puberty to expressing being a young adult to eventually getting to 25. At this stage, there's a lot of discovery trying to happen, and this is why it is essential, very essential, that you engage in a lot of self-awareness, self-discovery, and personal development at this age, because you are in your spring season. At your spring season, there are signs of growth, there are signs of potential. But one thing I have always known is that there are people that showed these signs when they were much younger, but eventually they grow up and you're wondering what happened, how things get wrong, what went wrong, because you can remember that when they were growing up, they looked like they were going to be something. They looked like they were going to be very industrious. They looked like they were going to be owners of companies, CEOs. They looked like they were going to be very hardworking. But then you notice that something went wrong along the way, because you are seeing them in another season of their life and they are not looking like how promising they were looking at the beginning. And this is why if you do not maximize this spring season very, very well, you'll miss out entirely on the next season of life. And I don't want that to happen to you. So please and please, if you're between the ages of 0 and 25, you are in your spring season of life, and please maximize it well. How do you maximize it? I've said it before. Much learning, much self-awareness programs, much self-discovery, know who you are, know what you're capable of, engage in lots of personal development, and that will be a very wonderful season for you, because the next season that is coming is a season called the summer season. The summer season is another wonderful season. In fact, many people who go on vacations, who want to travel, this is the season they enjoy the most, because in summer the sun is high. In fact, the sun is at its highest, right? So there's a lot of outdoor activity, there's a lot of life, it's a time for passion, it's a time for growth, it's a time for adulthood, young adulthood. You see yourself enjoying the outdoors, you see yourself enjoying adventures, okay? You see yourself trying out new things, doing wonderful things, things that you see yourself fulfilling your greatest heart desires. You see yourself trying to establish what you believe your purpose are. It is a time for deep purpose. The summer season is a time for deep purpose, and if you're between the ages of 26 and 50, you are in your summer. That is the moment you should born. That is the moment you should burn like a shining light. The Bible says in John chapter 5 verse 35 that John was a shining light and you were willing to enjoy him for that season. It's a time to shine. The Bible says also in the book of Matthew chapter 5, from verse 14 to 16, that you are the light of the world, a city that is set on a hill that cannot be hidden. It said neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but they put it on the candlestick that everyone may enjoy it. So this is the time to shine. It's a time to blossom. It's a time to become everything that you have desired. So if you find yourself between the ages of 26 and 50, enjoy the summer. It's a time for deep passion. Find out what you are passionate about and begin to do it. You are not waiting for anything. In fact, I must tell you that whatever you do not do in summer might be undone for the rest of your life. Whatever you do not achieve during summer, you might not be able to do it. I said might. You might not be able to do it again in life. And that is why during summer, you should put in your best. You should put in everything that you've got, all right? If you need to study. If you need to advance yourself. If you need to build a company, go ahead and do that. If you need to write a new song, go ahead and write a new song. If you need to engage in any kind of business, any kind of adventure, summer is your time. It is a time for you to flex. It is a time for you to show what you carry. It is time for you to become everything that God has placed inside of you, and that is the summer season. Most people who are tourists or who go on vacations a lot, you hear them talk about summer holidays, because during summer people have the ability to explore. So during your summer, you should be able to explore the different gifts inside of you, the different skills inside of you, the different potentials inside of you. And at that time, this is the time where you begin to plant your feet on the earth. This is the time you begin to make your mark on the earth. This is the time you begin to register your presence on the earth. It is summer, people. I don't know how many of you are within the ages of 26 and 50, but if you are that age bracket like us, please, this is the time for you to shine your light. I'd like you to type shine in the comment section. If you are within the age bracket of summer, type shine in the comment section. All right, I want to know those who I am in the same season of life with. So please type shine. It is the time for you have mastered yourself. You have discovered yourself. You are about to let the world know who you are. You're about to let the world, your generation, feel the impact of God's investment in your life. It's important for you to allow your world to feel the impact of God's deposit in your life. You are a full-blown adult at this point, and you are enjoying adulthood. You are expressing what your passion is. You have found your niche. You have found your area in life, and you are making destiny impact. And that's summer season, y'all. That is summer season for you. That's what it is. That's what it's all about. And as you enjoy this summer, remember something, that the next season called autumn is coming. Autumn season is coming. It doesn't matter how long your summer lasts. Autumn is coming. And it's important for you to know that there are things that you are supposed to do in summer, that when you are doing it in autumn, people look at you like you really did not maximize your time, like you wasted your time. Have you seen people who are over laboring when they should be resting? It is a product, it is a proof that they did not really maximize the previous seasons of their lives. I'm not saying that it's not possible for you to still achieve your heart desires much later in life. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I mean is that it will be a lot more difficult, because then you are older, then you are struggling hard to do that. And there is a time for everything. The Bible tells us that upon this earth that we are in, there is a time for everything. There is a time to sow, there is a time to reap, there is a time to plant, there is a time to harvest, there is a time to work, and there is also a time to rest. So in summer, it is not resting time. Don't rest while others are working, because if you rest while others are working, it won't be long. You'll be begging when others are resting. And this is very, very key. The Bible talks about a son who sleeps during harvest. the Bible says that that son is an embarrassment both to his father and to his mother. You cannot afford to be that son who sleeps during harvest. You can't also sleep during the planting season. This is important because there are people that when we are fasting so that we can eventually enjoy our feasting, they would rather start feasting and then later in life they start starving. So please don't feast while others are fasting. That's what I'm trying to say. What I'm basically trying to say is that there is a time for everything. So this time is the time for you to shine your light, the time for you to burn, it's the time for you to load yourself up with potentials. And if you are within this summer season of your life and you have not gotten direction, you need to do something about it. In fact, there is an urgent clarion call for you to do something about it. You cannot just relax like that. No. You cannot just say, don't worry. Time will not always be your friend. And this summer season is more like a season where a stage has been set before you. You are meant to display, you are meant to showcase who you are, what you carry, the difference you have come to this world to make. And that is summer season. So this is why it is important that we maximize our spring season that will lead us into our summer season, and make sure that as we step out from the summer season and step into autumn, we are not wasting our time. Okay, now let's talk a bit about the autumn season. The autumn season is another season, but it's a time for reflection. It's a time for major changes in life. It is a time for legacy. All right. So at this stage, you have done work. You have showcased yourself. You have explored. You have understood who you are. You have raised stuff. All right. So you have made investments. You have lived a life. And at this autumn season, which is usually between the ages of 51 and 75, between 51 and 75, you are trying to create succession plans. You are trying to make sure that the people that are coming after you are equipped to manage the things that you are going to leave behind. At this stage, you are building legacy. So at this stage, you find yourself mentoring younger ones. You find yourself teaching younger ones. It could be a teaching that is from a place of your achievements, or it could also be a teaching from a place of a mentorship from a place of your failures. All right, areas where you failed, where you are trying to make sure that the next generation that they do not fail at. So it's very, very imperative that you also know what this particular season of life is for. So the autumn season is a period in your life where you begin to build legacy, where you begin to change. So you begin to step down on, if you have been on a very fast lane, working too hard, you begin to step down on that. If you have been eating everything that comes in summer, because summer has lots of fruits, and it is not time for you to begin to step down on the things that you eat, because you know that you are getting older. It's not everything that is available that you get to eat. It's not everything that is given to you that you get to put in your mouth, right? So you begin to step down, you begin to change even your habits, you begin to adjust your habits, you begin to reflect on the decisions that you have made during the spring season and during the summer season. You begin to reflect, you begin to think about the things you would have done and how better you could have done it. And it is at this point you are able to write books, mentor others, tell them the better way to do it, you begin to create your legacy. You begin to ask yourself, what do I want people to remember me for after I am gone? You begin to look at people and ask them concrete questions like, who do people think I am? What when you hear my name, what resonates with you? What do you hear? What comes to your mind? It is like this season, and this is a season of deep reflections. You are no longer as young as you used to be, but you still have some life left in you. And so this is also the point in your life where you begin to make corrections. So if there are things that you have not been doing well, you have been doing wrongly in your life, this is the point you begin to make corrections. You begin to tell yourself, okay, I have to adjust this, I have to adjust that. I did this wrongly, I'm going to correct it in this season, because I said this is a season of change, it's a season of reflection, it is a season of deep maturity. All right, the season where you leave your legacy. It is a season where you adjust the things you have done. You are looking at yourself, you are getting older. At this stage, you're between 51 and 75, and you are looking back and asking yourself, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? What should I have done better? What decisions would I have taken? All right, should I have taken? But it is not a period for you to start regretting. You are asking yourself this question so that you can see how else you can remedy this situation. See, I am always still of the opinion that in God's time, He makes all things beautiful. So while I am saying that this is a season of reflection, of change, of legacy, for some, God might even make your summer to happen in autumn, right? For some, it is at this season that God even exposes them the more. But there is a time for everything. So if you are able to maximize your time in the time allocated for it, go ahead and do that. But that does not mean that you are discounted. That does not mean that God has forgotten you. That does not mean that because God is the one who can always break protocols in your favor. He can always make room for you. He can always open up doors for you and cause things to happen in your life. But this is the stage where you begin to step down. You begin to build legacy, begin to build succession plans. Make sure you are developing leaders who will lead after you. Make sure you are intentionally doing the right things. All right, this is the stage where you begin to reconcile with God. If you have not been living right, you tell yourself, oh no, I've not lived for God. God, I'm sorry. God, cleanse me, cleanse my heart, align me rightly. And then you begin to also make amends with relationships. There are people, some of you are between this age 51 and 75, you have lots of enemies, but that is not the age to have enemies. This is the stage where you begin to reconcile, even if they are the ones who are wrong, even if they're the ones who hurt you, even if they're the ones who did terrible things to you. You know that you need forgiveness at this stage. You need to forgive them and let them go, because you know better. You are full of experience at this time. At this age, you are full of experiences. You've seen a lot. You've known a lot. You've also advanced in age. You've also seen what you did, some of the things that you did wrongly as a reason of youthful exuberance. And now you are older, you know better, and because you know better, you just have to see yourself doing better, and that's just what it is. So that is what the autumn stage is all about. Then the final stage, that is called the winter. No matter what you do in autumn, remember, winter is coming. Winter is coming, and winter is not a funny season of life to be in. Last year November, just a few months ago, we were in UK. We were in Derby, went to Manchester, and then went to London, and we found snow, or snow found us, whatever. So there were lots of snow. We had to cover ourselves, and we had to even see ourselves walking on slippery snow. We also played in the snow, but other than that, it's cold, very, very cold. And in such a time, you are not free to really go to the places where you want to go to. So I really wanted to have a boat ride in the Thames River and some other things, some things we had earlier, but there were things we couldn't just do simply because it was winter. All right, the weather was not convenient at all. As a matter of fact, Londoners and those who live over there said it was not even winter yet we are seeing snow. And when winter comes with a lot of struggles, a lot of challenges. The problems are usually not ending. You have to wait long hours. Sometimes you want to go out, but you can't go out. You have to stay indoors. And this happens, the winter season of life happens between the ages of 76 and as long as God allows you to live. All right, so between 76 and maybe 100 should be the winter season. In this season of life, you're not as strong as you used to be. All right, you have to now wait on others for them to make certain decisions for your life. So you want to eat, but somebody has to make the food you are going to eat. Sometimes you want to even go and take your bath, you cannot even get to the bathroom successfully except somebody helps you. I know that there are others who are usually very strong at this age. They can really assist themselves and help themselves, but at this stage you're no longer as strong as you used to be. At this stage you're no longer as capable as you used to be. In fact, the positions that you used to hold, some of them might be taken away from you because of your thinking capabilities. Well, somebody will be like, most of the presidents around the world, they are at this stage. Well, they are at this stage. Truth, that's the truth. But if things were done rightly, the younger persons should be the ones who should be leading. In fact, I would naturally recommend that people within the autumn, like between 51 and 75, should be the ones that should be presidents and should be in charge. Somebody younger or somebody older shouldn't be. This is the right age where people already have a lot and lots of experience, and they're no longer childish, neither are they too old to lead. But unfortunately, I see situations where we have presidents who are very, very old, so they make old people's decisions, but that is not mine to decide. All right, if somebody is old and has experience and is still of good health, well, we need all the experience that we can get, and that's actually fine by me. So this is a stage where you have to do a lot of waiting. This is a stage where you have to do a lot of depending on people. So you cannot be as independent as you want to be. You have to actually depend on others to make decisions for you. You actually need to depend on others to help you out at certain seasons. It's a season of struggles. You might be having struggles with your health, you might be having struggles with your strength, you might even be having struggles with your eating, the way you eat or the way you sleep, some deficiencies here and there. It's a season with an ending. All right, and this season is usually not very, very easy to adjust. So what do we do in this season? This is a season of rest. It's a season where you rest. You rest from your labors. You have worked, you have labored, you have made effort, you have struggled, you have made your impact, you have allowed your light to shine, you have mentored others, you have raised leaders. And this is the time where you get to rest between 76 and 100 or 120, or no matter how long God allows you to live here on earth. This is the season where you get to rest. You rest from your labors and enjoy the fruits of your labor. You take vacations, you keep yourself under the sun, go from country to country, just have fun, just rest, just eat and play with your grandchildren and play with the people who love you, your children and stuff like that. This is the age where you get to rest. And at this stage, it is the fourth and the final season of life, and how you end it also matters. So you end it with lots of love, family around, so much rest, full reconciliation with everybody that you have hurt or may have hurt you, and legacy building, succession planning. All right, you've planned the succession, you are now dishing out advice, you are giving out counsel, you are helping people to grow. This is what the season is all about. Why am I sharing with you today about the 4 seasons of life? It's important that you embrace every season of life as they come. One thing I said at the beginning of the video is that you don't choose the seasons, you don't determine the seasons. It is in God's hands. God is the one who determines the seasons of everybody's life, but you have a responsibility to recognize this season and embrace this season so that you'll be able to enjoy personal growth and you'll be able to maximize these seasons effectively. I like to tell you that each of this season has a specific purpose in your life, and there is a purpose, there is a reason for each season of your life, and you have to make sure that you are the one maximizing every season, every purpose of this season of your life. And this is very, very important. Now, something else I'd like to share with you is that clinging to one season too long can hinder your growth. Clinging to one season for too long, assuming that you are done with your spring season, that is 0 to 25 years, and you're already in your summer season, 26 to 50 years, but you still want to cling to your spring season, it can hinder your growth, because the time you are supposed to be displaying on the stage that life has set for you, you are still doing rehearsal. Who does that? There's a time for rehearsal and there's a time for performance. And let me tell you, poor private preparation will always lead to poor public performance. Poor private preparation will always lead to poor public performance. If you don't take out the time that you're supposed to use to prepare in your secret place, in your place of hiding, in your place of growth, you will come out in the public and you will disgrace yourself. You will become a national disaster. You will experience destiny embarrassment simply because you were clinging onto a season for too long, simply because you were not able to prepare yourself as you should for the new season that you are going into. We all can use these 4 seasons of our lives to reflect on our lives, to reflect on how far we have come, and most importantly, to take stock of where we are at in life. We can use it to check ourselves and say, okay, have we been able to do this? And we can even use it to redeem our days. In case you find yourself in summer and you notice that you're already in your summer season, but you have not bloomed enough. All right, you do not bloom enough for you to have sufficient fruits in summer. You can divide your summer season into 2. Use the first half of the summer to do your blooming, so that you can actually have some fruits to testify, have some fruits to show for it. And this is why it is so important for us to understand these 4 seasons of our lives and maximize it effectively, and know what to do and know how to handle each of these seasons. You know, when we learn of these seasons, we can also, it helps to teach us patience. So we know that, I am in my spring season. Let me not rush too much. Let me not run faster than my shadow. Let me wait, because this is just a season and the next season is coming, and the next season will hopefully be better. So you learn to be patient with yourself. You'd also learn to be patient with others, and you also, most importantly, you learn what no longer serves you. So very important. You learn what no longer serves you. Do you know that there's a season in your life where a particular thing serves you, but there is another season where a particular thing, the same thing, does no longer serve you? Like, you are in your spring season, you take lots of ice cream, you enjoy yourself, you take the pizzas and all of the junk food, but when you begin to step into your summer and even to autumn, you have to drop some things. There are habits you must drop. There are habits that used to serve you that can no longer serve you in this season. Because when the season of spring, when you're trying to develop yourself, you're trying to understand yourself, you're trying to know who you are, you're trying to know what tickles your fancy, you're trying to know what moves you, you're trying to figure out what your purpose in life is, there are things that will serve you in that season. But the moment you have figured out who you are supposed to be and what you're supposed to do here on earth, the moment you have figured out the purpose for your life, the moment you have figured out why you are here on earth and what you are supposed to do, there are habits that will no longer serve you. You know that this habit is no longer, see this example, and a habit of procrastination. When you're consistently procrastinating, a time comes when it can no longer serve you. You are already in autumn and you're telling yourself, there's no time, I have wasted a lot of time, so procrastination is not my thing right now. So there are times you get to, I know that some certain habits no longer serve you, some certain persons no longer serve you, some certain institutions no longer serve you, some certain understanding and ideologies will no longer serve you. So what do you do at such point? You are able to drop those things that no longer serve you and take up the things that need to serve you in this time and in this season. So what I've shared with you will help you to thoroughly apply these seasons to your life. I don't know how old you are out there, but let me know in the comment section what season of life are you in? Are you in the spring season? Are you in the summer season? Are you in your autumn season? Or are you already in your winter season? Let me know in the comment section. I can't wait to read from you and also to see the things, your answers, because it will help me to know and dropped the comment, all right, to at least to get to know what season that you are in. So it's important for us to adapt these 4 seasons. It will help us to adjust in life. It will also help us to thrive successfully. It will help us to examine our lives thoroughly, and also to make better changes in our life, to make quality changes in our life, to make better decisions in our lives. Because when you understand that I am in a season and this season is about to end, I'm in a season and this season is giving way for another season, there are things I must take up and there are things I must drop in this season. These are the things that threaten you. These are the things that tell you, okay, it helps you to assess yourself. It helps you to analyze. It helps you to evaluate your actions, your decisions, your habits, and make better ones. Okay? So that's what the 4 seasons is all about. I don't know. I wanted to share more with you, but I'll be cutting them at this point. But I believe so much in my heart that you were blessed by these 4 seasons of life. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the seasons. Somebody might say, oh, in my country, we don't have these 4 seasons. We just have rainy season and dry season. Oh, that's fine. But you see, I've graded them into these 4 seasons and I've applied them to the number of your ages, and I've also applied it to the situation and the conditions and the things that you likely experience in life. If you understand this, it will really help you to live a very planned life. I am rooting for you and I'm wishing you the very best. So today on Checkpoint, this is all I decided to share with you, and I believe in my heart that you were so blessed and that these 4 seasons will help you to analyze your life and make better decisions. Until I come your way again, keep making a positive, indelible mark in the lives of people and on the sands of time. I love you so very much. Bye bye for now. Mwah. Everyone, I hope you were blessed by that message. All right, so I want you to just go ahead and support us. If you are led, go ahead and just sow into the account right on the screen. And I know that as you do that, God will bless you big time. Because of the seeds you are sowing, you'll be able to reach a wider audience on different platforms. So please do well to sow that seed, and God will bless you. Love you.